So you've created a Google form, but now what? Where does it go? How do I see the data? What's the best way to check responses? I'm going to show you using this form that I have. This is based off of John Stevens, who's also known as the classroom chef. He has a problem called the quarters problem, which I've turned into a Google form that can be used as a math activity for your class. Now, first of all, I'm going to preview and make sure that the form is what I want it to be. So Ms. Katz asked the class if they'd rather have $225 or a stack of quarters as tall as they are. Which would you choose? I'm just going to go with a stack of quarters just so I can move on to the next screen. Why did I choose it? Because I think it will be more money. And I'm just going to fix my spelling here. Next. Now, Jessica said she'd choose a stack of quarters. She argues this. Should she still take the quarters? The children are required to do a little bit of math here. No, I calculated and I don't know. I'm just entering things in so that we can have some responses so we can look at our results. Joey argued that it's too much work to try to deal with all those quarters, so he'd rather take the money. Is he losing out? Yeah. Why do you think he's losing out? Because I don't know. Yay, you're done. Submit. Okay. So I can also see previous responses and submit another response based on the settings that I've set for this form. All of that is customizable. So you can decide if they get to see other people's responses or if they get to submit again. When I come back here, just a moment ago, there was a little 2 in the box here. I should have pointed that out. And now it says 3 because an additional response has been submitted and it's been submitted instantly. Now, just by clicking responses in my form right here, I can see a summary of the responses. I can see what all the 3 different responses have been in these really beautiful little pie charts. I can also see by question. So if I just want to look at this question, I can see what the different responses are. Or I could look at each individual person's responses. So this is especially useful if you are collecting students' information so you can see which student responded with what. So maybe you want to know what did student A respond. You can collect their email address at the beginning or ask them for their name, and then you can see what each specific student responded. But let's say you want to see a spreadsheet of all the responses so that you can manipulate the data a little bit easier. It's a little bit hard to notice, but there is a little Google Sheets symbol right here. And so if you click on this, it will prompt and say, do you want to create a new spreadsheet or do you want to select an existing spreadsheet? If you select an existing spreadsheet, it will prompt you on the next screen to choose a sheet that already exists, and it'll create a new tab at the bottom of the sheet. I'm going to just go with the default, creating a new spreadsheet, and it's going to automatically name it the same title as my form, which you can see over here. And it's just going to add responses at the end. And I'm going to click create. It will automatically open this in a new tab. And right there you can see the responses. I recommend the first thing that you do when you pull open your response sheet is to go through and wrap text. You may want to, if you have some columns that are going to have longer responses than others, you may want to expand those columns so that you will see more of the text. But once you do that, I'm actually going to make the timestamp smaller. Once you do that, I recommend that you select the whole table, which you can do quickly and easily by clicking right up here in the top left corner. Find the little arrow that says text wrapping and choose the middle option, wrap. That makes it so that you can see all of the text. It has also automatically frozen the top row so that when you scroll through, those questions are always visible. So now, anytime somebody submits a new response, it'll automatically populate in the next rows down below. It'll always populate in chronological order. This way you have access to your responses any old time. This is now going to be in my Google Drive. So if I go to my Drive and I search for John Stevens. You can see my responses are right here and I can access them anytime. All right. I hope that that has helped with how to see the results from a Google form.